views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, of course, I'm your boy AT2. What's up? How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Shout out to all my moderators, members, just everybody who has been rocking with me and just been supporting me. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I know someone else is live streaming it, but y'all know, like I already said, I was going to live stream it. So hell, I'm a live streamer too. Now, I caught the tail end of it, and he wasn't talking about nothing. I'm talking about Kevin Hunter, Wendy Williams' ex-husband. I caught the tail end. He wasn't really talking about nothing, but then he ended up saving the live, and so we're going to watch it together. I was all like, yo, I was going to watch the whole hour and then do a review on it. Bump that. Let's just watch the shit together, and then we can go ahead and discuss it after it's done. So I think that's the best thing. Also, I did want to talk about the rumor that I heard who's trying to control Wendy and what's going on with that, allegedly. But I want to watch his live first and see what he says to see if he does address that rumor that I heard. And then, you know, we can go ahead and discuss that afterwards if he doesn't address it. Now, you guys did see, hello, everybody. What's up? Patty and Austin, Nikki, Mina, Andrea Nelson, Casey, Dot, Shayna. Who else is here? We got Yorkie Mom. Shout out to everybody. Sorry if I missed you. But going back to what I was saying, Wendy was at the airport in Newark, New Jersey. You know, she was with her son. They were flying back to Miami. I have heard that they have made it back to Miami. What's up, Carolyn? They have made it back to Miami. She wasn't in a wheelchair or a walker or nothing. You know, they caught her in a picture on her phone, and then her and her son carrying their luggage bags and stuff like that. So Wendy looked good for the most part, y'all. I will say that Wendy looked good. She didn't look like she was, you know, out of her mind or anything like that. You know what the rumors are saying. She looked good. Well, she looked airport ready. I wouldn't say she was dressed up. She was airport ready. What's up, Wendy Lynn? Thank you for coming. All right, y'all. So without further ado, let me go ahead and take me off the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and put it up right now, and we're going to go ahead and listen to it together. Don't forget, I'm still here. I'm going to go on my laptop, though, so the sound won't mess up. So we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. 1, 2, 3. Let me remove myself.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? All right, we good? We're going to get through this. There's a few technical difficulties as I figure this out. But as I was saying, hold on, let me let it get a little more. Y'all can hear. Greetings, everyone coming in here. Health and wellness to everyone. It's been a trying time.
Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear the sound. I just want to make sure you guys can hear it before I continue, because I would hate to get through the whole thing and y'all can't even hear it. And this is fair use, educational purposes, fair use. Just in case somebody try to strike my video. Fair use, ho, fair use. Okay, good. We're gonna go back to the video. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Here we go.
I want to give an amazing thank you and support to the people at Hunter Publishing Group, the whole team, Rachel, Nicola, everybody that's helped during this journey. Even the brother Omar Tyree gave me some insight and some game. Shouts to you, my brother. And definitely a big shout to Tamika Scott from the group Escape. She has an amazing product coming out in June, cookbook, A Taste of the South. Y'all, it's infused with family and love, and all the recipes are amazing. I want to give a special shout out to Sonia Aline with our I Kick Ass at Workbook, currently available at Hunter Publishing Group now.com, Hunter Publishing Group. And she's another amazing author. We have a lot coming in to show y'all in the form of hopefully great, powerful pieces of literature, hopefully timeless. So thank you. I tip my hat to y'all.
We are live, people. We are live.
I'm going to definitely start this with saying, you know, for the people that genuinely, you know what I'm saying, have been showing and giving nothing but support since I came on this gram, and the hard journey that it still is sometimes. I want to, you know, salute, toast y'all with water, make sure you hydrate. I'm blessed to be in some great weather where you're getting enough vitamin D and sun, and, you know, making sure everything is good. You know, that's important. You know what I mean? Don't stay dark. Go to the light. For a lot of people that don't know me, you know, I normally stay in the back. I have been fortunate enough, coming from Brownsville, Brooklyn, to have gone on a journey, been part of greatness, appreciative, humble. You know, you're looking at somebody with a 10th grade education and a GED, and what I've been able to learn and also gather and teach myself, I've been fortunate. There's a few things I want to kind of address. I'm not going to take up too much of everybody's time. For the people that are here, you know, you can share, but these are, you know, my words. When it comes to whatever narratives that might be spun out there regarding me, my entire family, I want to first and foremost say that, you know, I respect, I truly respect and appreciate all that I was able to experience with my ex-wife and what we were able to accomplish. What she accomplished clearly on her own.
Thank you, Candace.
And what we were able to accomplish together. There has been, also with that, when it comes to my personal life, I'm a professional life. When it comes to my personal life of what the public has been able to see in real time, I take full accountability for my actions and understanding, how I might have hurt a lot of people who witnessed seeing at the time one of the only Black families in daytime television. So I understand how passionate that people have been passionate through the years, even before I came into the picture, and continue. There's haters that turn into lovers. There was a lot of hard work that was put in around the clock that only me and her will understand before all the hoorah and where
hit the like button, please. Hit the like button.
So I don't expect a lot of people to understand what sacrifice really means when you're going for something or when you want to fulfill your mate at the time's dreams. Only real dudes can relate to this when you meet somebody and you really want to see them excel and you put it on the line for them. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? All right, people don't know, I'm not gonna over explain that, but the opportunity that someone gave me, I was very appreciative of at the time. This is the opportunity to manage one of the most polarizing and prolific talents outside of a Howard Stern. So I was honored, and it's a shame that through all of that and through all of what you really work hard to do, you realize that, damn, when you get to that point, this it ain't everything. It ain't everything when it take away so much from something, and that's where everything went left. But again, I take full accountability, and I stand on the principle of knowing that I did hurt somebody, and for that, I wish her nothing but the best, wellness and support, and my deepest. With that being said, professionally, what I've done, what I contributed to, what I was a huge part of, what was, what was stripped from me because of whom I choose to be with and whom I choose. Like you're not supposed to. Personal relationships go on in the job all the time. You know what I mean? And when it happens in everyday situations, you choose not to speak to somebody. Oh, you still see somebody, keep it moving. But when it's on this level of what me and her was and what was being created and cultivated, in some cases originated, like you got to deal with that accordingly. And I know my general makeup to a lot of people might seem a certain way. You hear a lot of things about people who don't know me. It's a small group of people who do. And I'm not trying to prove nothing. The people that I have helped, the people that I have been instrumental of being a catalyst to, they know who they are. And, I wish nothing but the best still. Even when you do me dirty, it's like, all right, God got me, I'm good. He brought me this far. he gonna keep bringing me. And I don't wish nothing bad on the situation, so that's why I remain quiet throughout. You know, when I did choose to share certain pertinent things, people decided they wanted to exploit, twist it, you know, all for clicks. It's all good. God got me. He don't got you. To any event,
He talking about
what
Tasha right there.
what happened to me as an executive in a business that does not have a lot of diversity was not called for. And I struggled with whether I was going to pursue this because after such a public divorce where everybody chose to do what they do in the movie, and which I feel was not a rightful depiction of the situation at all. You could have definitely spent more time on the real accomplishments and the defining moments that made her who she is. There's a lot of people that need to be thanking what she put down. From TMZ on down, when there wasn't no platforms and all these you know, wasn't no social media. But instead, you know, there was a bunch of hurt. There was a bunch of people using the opportunity to discredit, take a personal situation and discredit my hard work. Hard work where I never missed a day, maybe 3 days tops out of 10 years. She never missed one day. And because of that, the effects of that are happening now. See, if there's any other player, let's just say from a sport or what have you, and they happen to have a season where they're injured or whatever, you know, you give that person time to rehab and do what they need to do. But when you don't do that, then you risk more injury, more hurt, more pain. I remained silent because I wanted the person that I was going through this with to not go through as much pain, you know, as it was causing with a deeper rooted issue at hand that everybody seems to have just thought just went into thin air. I didn't want that person to keep suffering. So I took whatever blows I needed to take, and I still was helping. So for all of you people that just think, you know, it's about taking something, in the midst of my divorce, I continued through the grace of God to save a person's life. Do me a favor, go inside, cut the light on. I continue to go through that, you know, because that's the type of person I am. So I never stopped being that person. But through the course of the divorce, one of the fastest celebrity divorces in history, because I basically left whatever on the table just to have peace of mind and wanted her to have peace of mind. In doing so, I still had to save life. I still had to save her life. And there's some people that very much know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's
because they was responsible
definitely
for almost seeing her life come to an end. There's current people in place, management, that clearly put her in a life and death situation and denied medical coverage and care. And if it wasn't for my son and myself stepping in, that's it. say step in, I mean, when you got somebody telling, my son, who's the most beautiful spirit on the place on this planet, you got people that's trying to objectify him right now because all he wants is his mother well. He don't care about none of that. He grew up in front of all of this. He don't know nothing, but he wants his mother well. Oh, you got somebody sitting there who just got there telling your son that no, you can't send these people up to a place to save her, to see, to do a real wellness check. Not this control stuff that's happening now, a real wellness check. When you got somebody telling a 20-year-old that, to a point where he got to say, if you don't let these people upstairs to go look at my mom's, I'm calling 911. That's the only thing that allowed. For rescuers to get up there. And 2 blood transfusions later.
Are y'all believing him so far, y'all? Y'all believe in him?
That queen's still here. With people who, because of, I don't know if it's pride, a narrative, a overall dissent, I understand that there was a bunch of people around me that didn't want to be around me. I get it. I come from a certain place. I understand that there was a bunch of people that couldn't wait till I get out the way so that they can have their way. I get it. I didn't, I understand. But the amount of people that knew exactly what was happening on my departure and not making sure that certain steps was in place, because certain departments that's supposed to be, when you at a normal situation, you're supposed to have different departments to deal with somebody of this magnitude in case anything happens. So i.e., you would have never seen this happen to a Ellen DeGeneres. You would have never seen this happen to a Jimmy Fallon. You don't hear about any of this stuff. But here, there's no installation for a person. And for the most part, there are people who absolutely know. And they know so much, they ready to they know. So I'm not just saying that, like, I'm telling y'all this because at the end of the day, it wasn't about half of what anybody thinks. I know I don't owe anybody or everybody an explanation. I'm just being forthright right now. That was one of the instances while getting dragged, and it's cool. With that being said, professionally, when it comes to the lawsuit that I'm presenting and what I waited, to do, because I didn't know if I really wanted to go through anything after all this happened with the divorce. It's about the respect of what I did contribute creatively. It's about no disrespect to the people that came before and the people that clearly worked in the business longer than me. And I know that they never would have chose me. I had to inherit the situation, and I might not knew how to exactly produce a show, but I had to learn a lot real fast. And people where I'm from, you have to adapt and learn stuff fast. So I adapted real fast, and I knew how to produce my peoples. In turn, she knew how to give the proper respect to me. And for that, I'm forever grateful. And a lot of people ain't understand that. A lot of women would want to say, oh, you should have did this, had that, whatever. I don't compare my situation to none of the other kings out here that's married to powerful women and they might earn more or do more, because it takes a foundation that's real for any of that to survive. And for all the ones that's doing it on their own, salute to you. But for the ones that where the corporations come in and pretty much marry y'all, not the men that's out here really fighting and cherishing, but for the corporations that try to step in and become that, that's crazy. At the end of the day, I wasn't allowed to go get my belongings. I was objectified as some sort of monster because I chose to have an extramarital relationship. Tell me where they fire you for. Okay, you had a regular job, you could just say, I don't want to deal with you no more. But where they fire you, or because you are not with somebody anymore, after being such a successful part, an integral part. You might not want to really admit it, but if you didn't want me
talk
there,
about this.
Other things could have transpired. And I would have been out. I'm not going to stay nowhere. It wasn't really the plan for me to be there that long anyway. I'm there supporting my peoples and making sure it's right. She wanted me to be there, so I'm there. That's my peoples I'm going hard for. Like I go hard for my peoples now. That's just what it is. I know a lot of people won't understand why I chose to do what I did, whatever I did, and I don't really owe you no explanation. But to say that I go with realness and honesty and integrity, and I don't always be where the money's at. And whatever happened between me and my ex-wife happened way before, and you know what? We worked ourselves into a situation where we just either had to keep working or we was bound to crash. And that we did. In terms of her wellness to date, I'm totally supportive of my son, who is a beautiful spirit, a gentle giant, and will probably soon be objectified as some sort of monster, somebody that's trying to take advantage of his mother, even though he's her only heir. But he soon will be objectified like that. And you know what? He's not going to deserve that because he's not that. All of this for the sake of business and money. I understand the essentialness of all of that. I understand that, things come to an end. But when you look at what happened in the interim of my departure, you could draw your own conclusions and understand that if the opposite would have happened and she would have flourished and been so much better without any of my involvement whatsoever, and I wish and pray that and hope that, like she meets somebody and love continues and we still can be respectful with how we have to deal with whatever, because we do have a beautiful specimen of a son that still needs us. If it would have went the other way, I would nothing but applaud, and I probably would not even look to seek the respect that's rightfully mine as I struggle with even making this decision to go with this lawsuit. But all we wanted, everyone needs is some peace and some time right now. And regardless of however her family might feel about me, I got nothing but love and respect for them. I wish them well. God bless them. There's a lot, and I just God bless them all. Be part of my son's family. Look, I don't have no hate. Whatever hate I had, I left when I left New York. I left it there, along with all the bad energy and frequencies. At the end of the day, the lawsuit is about anybody after me going through a somewhat similar situation and is fighting for their respect. No disrespect to the people that were supportive, but for anybody that really wasn't and you was there, then this is the product. This is like what the outcome is. And I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time because and I'm not gonna be jumping on this all the time. I can't say I'm taking no questions or anything like that. The people that I'm suing at Devmar Mercury, affiliated with Lionsgate, for wrongful termination. At the end of the day, the people, the handlers, everybody that's surrounding the situation, there's a motive that's getting real ugly. And even for people that have grown to dislike, and they looking at this like this is some live TV show and you just enjoying the antics, just understand at the helm of all of this is someone that's really fighting, for theirs. And wherever I stepped away and try to give them room to do and create, just so that without all of the hoopla, like that's part of my legacy, like my new legacy that's also a part of me. That's part of me, And I support Elizabeth. I salute Elizabeth Warren and her whole plight against the Wells Fargo system of banking and what's happening with these predatory people out here. And understand that whole fight, when you're dealing with these banks, it gets real crazy. It's a lot of people that are not in a position to have any kind of voice or platform, and they elderly or what have you, and they getting preyed upon with their wealth or whatever they have. And if you want to narrow that down to how our people is ranked in that, then it's even worse. As far as again, thanks to Hunter Publishing for allowing me to be on this platform. I could have did a whole lot of different things. I'm going to probably repost this. I just wanted to talk to y'all without a whole lot of extraness. I am going to start doing a few things to support what I'm doing respectfully, and the amazing people that I'm working with. As far as as far as anybody else that's out there with the negativity and the people that's clicking and the people with the weird obsessions for me, look, I ain't got nothing but dust for them. Y'all, I'm not on trying to make this a whole suit campaign against a whole bunch of people and all like that. Like I got things I have to do and still accomplish for the legacy that is this really what that's about too. I'm part of somebody else's legacy, and then I'm establishing my own legacy for both of my kids, my beautiful kids, and my current lovely situation with my partner. My friend, my confidant. I want to give a special love and support to Vegan Nose and Vish and all those platforms. And I'm honored to be
Hit the
part of
like
that.
button, please. Hit the like button. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
The support I got and continued support I will have no matter what, from near, from far. I wish nothing but the best in health and wellness, and know that the person that I know, as long as they stay focused and get to what's really important in your process, when you're dealing with recovery, when you're dealing with any type of real trauma, you just got to make it about yourself. The best thing that I could have did was make it about myself through this turmoil, and focus more on the foundation. because money is essential, but it definitely ain't everything. And the way that this world is going, it looks like you got to have more than just money. Yeah, friend and confidant. That's my people's. Serena Hudson. She's a warrior. She is. That's my people's, for real. And she is family. And I do have family. And I will continue to have family. And my family is unfortunately what I make because of just how my whole family is. And, that's a whole nother story. The support I will continue to have for my son, the support that I will continue to have for his mom, no matter what takes place, no matter like there's stuff that y'all will never understand that goes on behind the scenes, and no matter what type of picture someone tries to paint, just know that there's a lot that has happened. And we will not rule out the fact that, in a lot of situations, you could be worth more dead than alive, depending on what kind of insurance policies and whatever people have. And I hope that God continue doing what he's doing to make, make the impossible possible. And I hope he continue giving everyone out there that supportive the strength to, keep powering through everything that's happening in this crazy world right now. I understand that there's a lot of talk shows that's getting canceled, because people are into so much nonsense. But through the trials and the tribulations, there are some Jews that are brought. And when Wendy was going through rehabilitation, let me be very clear. When she was being rehabilitated, and the opportunity came for people to fill in her show 2 years ago when things were somewhat awry, and everyone knew it, including the people and her subordinates, and everybody knew it. When all that was happening and desperately had to fill in spots, I was very intricate in suggesting and telling them Nick Cannon is a very, very good choice. No disrespect. And while they were working with Jerry O'Connor, who's also phenomenal talent, that's Nick Cannon, and that turned into, a whole thing. And, I salute Nick Cannon, and it's unfortunate that, you couldn't get the support that you needed. Whatever support that we received doing while I was there, the support that we received had to come by hook or crook, in a sense with, just pressuring and sometimes not coming across, so likable. But I'm fighting for my family at the time. This is not just somebody I'm representing. There's so no disrespect to the managers that's out there that's really representing their people and going hard, and they would damn near die for their people. Well, this is my family, so I'm definitely in that position where I would die for mine. So I'm gonna go hard for mine. So when everybody else go home to their families, I gotta take this home and deal with everything. So I'm going hard. And what you're seeing from season 1 in terms of aesthetic style, not taking nothing away from the contributions, but when it comes to her the personal style of it all, and what what needed to come across, because when you're not a sample size in daytime television, when you're not the size of Kelly Ripa and all of them, then you got to buy clothes. So what you seen and how it was presented was all fighting behind the scenes for budget to open, to make sure that while the only person who could sit in a chair for 25 minutes a day, even against all the women, all the men, even the men in nighttime talk shows, late night talk shows, they don't have monologues that go for 25 minutes, 12 minutes tops.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you. Fair use, ho, fair use, ho.
She's there for 25 minutes just engaging with these people. So you got to look the part. And she was the only person that still can do it effectively. No disrespect to anybody, her predecessors, people after her. I salute y'all. I wish y'all the best. But what had to happen in terms of the fighter source to get to that point was something. And I remember, I remember Shakim Compare told me at the beginning of the journey, he said, look, there's not a lot of positive images of Black people on television, man. So to make sure, that stuck with me. So that was my blood sweat. Hello? 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 I guess I'm not on. Hello?
Y'all, I am cracking up. He like, hello?
I'm back.
Hello?
Listen, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Like I said, whether it's 115 people, 1,000 people, it don't matter. I ask people to spread it to the people that matter. And, as long as you know, that's what's up. But like I was saying, at the end of the day, a lot goes into being part of any kind of production. And I feel honored to have been part of it. But the way it all went down, they definitely could have been more professional about it. And I'm seeking my justice for my legacy, for everything that is me. Moving forward, I appreciate everybody's support, and not just Hunter Publishing, but the people that came and supported Loretto in Brooklyn, NYC, the people that hopefully is going to support the new endeavor in Brooklyn. We're doing Caribbean Vegan. I will not continue to beat a drum, when it comes to all of this. At some point, if I get to writing a book, and I feel like I've had enough memorable moments, I'll do that. I'm not trying to capitalize off of any hype, which is why I remain quiet. But this one here is just about respect. When you got people that you really help carve out something, something that 200 after 238 shows, that came and went, there's something stayed there, and you don't give credit or respect. Now, I just happen to be Black, but you don't give credit or respect. That there's a problem with that. And if there's someone else going through a divorce or and they happen to be an executive producer, and you give them all the room and time in the world to deal with their issue, but this situation here, was just about turning it and into I don't know, reality show. For the people who are dwelling on the fact that I had a baby, a beautiful daughter, a beautiful, beautiful, smart daughter with a beautiful person. Just know that at the end of the day, before there was any, and again, I take accountability for all my actions as a man, and I'm sorry that I hurt someone to that degree when it came to fulfilling a piece of my happiness. I've always been a family-oriented person, even though I'm not close with a bunch of my family, and I would have loved to create more family. But again, when you sacrifice, the business, it's only people that's running a real race don't understand. When you run in a race, sometimes you don't find time or can foresee that if that's not part of your real foundation. And for a long time, I thought that you get to somewhat of the top, because there was still some ways to go. When you get to somewhat of the top of a situation, and you think, yeah, this is what it is. Well, you know what? I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of stuff and do all that, but this is not what it is. A person need more than just this. They need foundation over everything. I've seen people with much less be more happier with their foundations, even where I'm at. And I'm sorry that make sure no. I'm sorry that the emergence of life, how I decided to bring it, hurt her and the whole stereotype of what happens when a man does that. I understand that you can't make everyone happy in that instance, but I do not regret what happened. I was not trapped into what happened. As a matter of fact, and again, I'm profusely apologetic for the impact it caused. I realize that, but as a matter of fact, the mother of my child, when we discovered it, she was like, no, we don't need to. She was the first one to try to suggest an alternative, and I actually said no. And that's because of the joy that I needed to have in my life at the time.
So she was going to have an abortion.
Whatever was happening at 100 miles an hour and happening right under me and around me, that, from whatever type of control freak people paid me out to be, there was a lot of things I couldn't control. But yeah, I could have controlled my actions better if I chose to. But until you've been in my shoes wholeheartedly to understand exactly what I was dealing with, you can't tell me nothing. I don't know too many men that could have done exactly what I did. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to act like I'm just saying the truth. I don't know too many people that could have done and bared the weight of what I did wholeheartedly. And I don't know too many people that could have did what she did. That's why she stand on her throne no matter what. But for whatever we were supposed to be together at a point where I fought for family many a days. I fought to bring my son here. I fought to try to keep a semblance of what the essence of family is. And I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. So whatever I'm trying to put together as family, to be family first, I stood on that strong. And what happened? what happened is, you know, family didn't stand that. Family wasn't a priority like it should have been. When you chase something more, when you chase something more and you start to forget, you know, what's important and what's like it's never supposed to be the other way around. Like it's supposed to be this first, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out, no matter what happens. But when it's not that no more, and you got a million people and devils and serpents and snakes and salamanders and all that, you know, trying to, you know, and feeding and enabling. And let's be clear, the enabling happened at an all-time high when I was desperately trying to get right. I don't care how much partying we done did and drinks, whatever. You get to a point where you got to get right. But when people want to keep you in a certain state, they enable. You know, and there was enabling happening clearly after my departure. There was enabling happening towards the end of my departure. And there were people that basically were saying, like, you know, even though we know there's a certain level of help needed, we're not getting behind it. We're not supporting that. We just want to make sure. We just want to make sure that she, you know, that she can do it. So, you know, when you got so many things stacked, and then as soon as you get out of the way, soon as you know, you can say, hey, if I place myself out of the way, if you think I fucked up the bag or whatever you want to say, like at the end of the day, the blessings came tenfold. I wanted my son to have another sibling on this earth so that he can have somebody else to count on. So I have some immediate family. I want him to have blood.
So he cheated so his son can have another sibling? What the? This dude is too much. Kevin, call into the show. I'm going to drop the link.
About a lot of things. Again, one of the many things that I did, you know, during the divorce, in the midst of, not just before the divorce, I'm talking about during, was very integral in helping my son save his mom's life while current management was ready for her to die, leaving her to die, imminent danger, and was on call. And if you really want to keep it funky, that's, you know, the whole situation with DJ Booth, and that's you know, shouts to you, my dude, but to keep it funky, like, you know, he called me. I had to ask him why. He said because he couldn't call anybody else. A whole staff of people there, and she's in a damn near a state that is crazy. People know she's in this state. People have seen what happened. They see she's broadcasting from the house. You seeing what's happening. Because it's pre-taped, you don't do anything. You just cut off the feed and leave the DJ guy who happened to think fast, manning everything in the house. Where they do that at? You think if Ellen or somebody's broadcasting from their house that, you know, they would do that? Or Jimmy Fallon? Or the cast of The View? You would have at least 5 or 6 people on call. No, it was just Booth. And when he called me and told me what was happening, there was another individual that was there, that was there and knew. It was damn near like family that happened to jump in and see and help save. Wow. Management sat back and just let it all just happen. So, current management, y'all do the math. Y'all figure it out. Current and only management sat back. I happen to have been in New York taking care of some of I got to come back down here and start my life. My son is in Florida. You got to get an emergency medical team to come in and try to, a private one. And you got this guy denying coverage. He's denying coverage for this person to come on this, to come upstairs, for these people to come upstairs and save this woman's life. So when my son got a threat,
I'm gonna let it go for 10
call
more
911
minutes.
if you don't let them up.
10 more minutes.
You never decided to call in the midst of everything. You didn't even call to see about what previous doctor she might have had that I had knowledge of. You didn't try to follow up with none of that. So whatever went awry, and now you got a person that's just getting ready to, you got a person that's getting ready to damn near die. And they got to have 2 blood transfusions later. But these are also the same people that in the midst of the whole breakup and a distraught person, emotionally distraught person, they decided to pick the management. They, like a real conflict of interest. They bring in people that they got in pocket to be involved. So now the whole control game is at an all-time high. It's all about control. They don't care if somebody gets well. They don't care if somebody is functional. It's about control. And the control that they felt they had after I left, the control they thought I had when I was there, and that was my ex-wife. This person was going through some real stuff before any baby news or anything happened. This is some real stuff happening, and I'm not trying to diss. It ain't about dishing. This is about understanding what a person got to go through. I've had many people in my family, my immediate family, go through stuff, and whoever is on here who have remotely a family member that's really went through something, it's and just because you got money and you go through a whole you masquerade stuff with makeup and that, when you take all that off, the person that you are is who you are. I left a lot on the table. Y'all don't have to worry about any haters or whoever coming in here trying to, at the end of the day, I'm not going to give that person any type of energy. And she know who she is, but whatever, yo. You obviously have some weird obsession, and you really are unfactual. And we know that you lie, so it's all cool. Like I'm just here trying to talk some truth, and I am going to repost this. It's unfortunate that I couldn't do it on my page because people doing all kinds of craziness, reporting to me. I'm not really doing anything, but I appreciate coming on here and being able to let you know what it is. No, I am not getting back together with my ex. I'm currently cool. I'm happy. I wish her well. You know what I mean? I'm in my zone. I'm in my relationship, with like I said, someone that's a rider no matter what anybody want to think. I'm trying to surround myself with good people that don't have ulterior motives and ain't just around. You know what I'm saying? I'm still Kelvin Hunter. I'm cool with that. I was Cav. I'm still Cav. I'm appreciating Kelvin. I'm looking at that as a new lease on life. My health and wellness is not a shtick. Ever since, you know, what me and my son went through. And let me be clear about that, just to add some clarity, because I just recently heard something. When it comes to what my strong young king has been through in his life, such a special spirit, special genuine spirit, who's still learning his bumps and lumps, but special nonetheless. What we had to endure as a family at the time, you know, while he went through his ordeal that was shared with millions and kind of misconstrued because he never had any addiction to anything. He just happened to, no different than if I smoked some weed for the first time and I just get sleepy and hungry, but his was not the same experience because of what it was and what he wasn't knowledgeable of. He's very knowledgeable of it now. Because I'll teach him whatever he needs to teach. I'll teach him whatever he needs to know, and all the fundamentals and what he needs to know that he allowed me to. But what he went through as a result of digesting that, and what we had to do at the time, what.
He's talking about the K2.
Wendy's contribution.
That's what his son was smoking, the K2.
Along myself to trying to save my son's life was what she tirelessly did for her family, to a point where, you know, what she tirelessly did was some sort of extraordinary during the time when my son was going through what he was going through. Because we wasn't even going through it in the same country. We had to go to Honduras to deal with this whole issue. God bless the dead. Dr. Sabi is probably the last person, one of the last people that he healed was my boy. And what his mom had to endure, you know, what I didn't want her to endure on the other side, being in the jungle. What I knew what she could handle and what she couldn't handle. In hindsight, she probably needed to be there the most.
Don't forget, he blamed Wendy for not being there.
As the situation was,
Wendy.
She was not for good merit and for the business that we plagued ourselves with the business that we inundated ourselves with, and not taking more time out.
Allegedly.
Because if we would have, maybe that would have never happened to my son. But I had to go. And yes, my people's, the mother of my child was very intricate in helping me through that process when I had nowhere to turn. And I couldn't necessarily put that pressure on someone who already was dealing with immense pressure.
He's shouting out Sharina. Understand that. He's talking about Sharina, y'all. Hit that like button.
That's okay.
But where's the super chat at, by the way?
So
Cash App?
The truth is, I try to do the best I can in my weakest moment in life, because at the time I thought my son was going to die. And if it wasn't for the people who all played a part, he would not be here. Or he would have had to suffer. He don't have to suffer now. And now he's fighting a vigilant fight to make sure that his mom's is good beyond anything. So it's not about getting back to what everybody wants. It's about getting back to yourself and making sure it's good. Through what happened to my son, many people got affected in a positive way. He don't know how much of a vessel oracle of sorts that he was. So many people got touched from him in his ordeal when we had to change our diets 10 years ago. Because him coming back from there, he couldn't eat regular food. So we had to try and all, unite to help him. Now that same food is helping getting his mom well. That same food has kept me from being in and out of doctor's offices and with high blood pressure and all that other stuff. And what he's been able to do for many people around him is something short of extraordinary. So no matter what they try to tell you or paint a picture of when it comes to that boy, just know that that boy is special. He's special. That man, young man is special. And no matter what happens, hopefully the respect levels will stay to a degree where, he can have both his parents in his life. I think that's enough, P. I want to give love to all the people that I'm currently in business with, from everybody at Hunter Publishing, all the authors, the people that's allowing me to handle their projects, to my restaurant partners, Original Prime, my dude Finesse, man, I got mad love for you, my dude, your whole family. I want to give a shout out to my dude, Grandma Owie Music. I'll be on the lookout for that.
All right, we don't know them people. I'm gonna end it right here. We don't need it. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Not really, but thank you, I guess. Y'all, we are going to go ahead and dissect this. I'm going to go ahead and play a quick commercial because I'm going to go back on my phone so y'all can see my face and everything like that. And we going to go ahead and get into it. But I do want to go ahead and drop this rumor that I heard. This was through sources that are connected to producers on the show. So I will be dropping this exclusive right now. I might actually believe this exclusive now here in that video. Y'all let me know, but here's the commercial and we'll get right back into it, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. And a lot of people want to know, like, hey, AT2, I want to be able to use StreamYard like you. Can you help me out? Well, you are in luck. I am going to go ahead and be teaching StreamYard classes. Go ahead and hit me up on Instagram, either at AT2_for_real, or hit me up via email at AT2entertainmentbooking@gmail.com. Again, AT2entertainmentbooking@gmail.com. I'll definitely hit you back, let you know what the price is, because you can't be telling everybody your prices. Hey, do you have a business, a YouTube channel, or whatever you want to promote on AT2's channel?
Yeah, I'm AT2.
If you want to promote on my channel, please just let me know. I can even create the promo video for you if you would like. Just hit me up either in the DM on Instagram, AT2_for_real, or hit me up via email at AT2entertainmentbooking@gmail.com. Again, that's AT2entertainmentbooking@gmail.com. I'll let you know the prices, what I can help you with, and we'll come up with a plan. Another thing, I'm unemployed, so I can't be hooking y'all up with discounts and stuff until the business get off the ground. Y'all know what it. Help a brother out. Y'all know how it is.
All right, y'all, we are back. I know that was long. I just want to say thank you guys for checking it out. Man, it went on and on and on. He's talked so slow and like, the you. That's why Wendy's out in the forefront because, we'll say Calvin so we don't get confused with Lil Kevin. Calvin Hunter and Tommy, we know why they not in the forefront because they not the talkers. They ain't the talkers. We know why Wendy is the one that's talking. Let me go ahead and let up my guest. What's up, All the Smoke? You there?
I'm here, AT2. Oh my gosh.
Is that Michael Darby?
It is, because this is giving me some Michael Darby cheating on his baby mama while she pregnant type of shit.
And so are you trying to say that Calvin Hunter be squeezing butt cheeks? Isn't that what Michael Darby got in trouble for?
Ain't no legend if there's witnesses to corroborate it. I'm just saying.
Right. Anyway, let me go ahead and drop this exclusive. So I did get a word. Usually a lot of times us bloggers, we get stuff and it's not like, oh, I don't know if that's true or not. And I was kind of iffy on this, but after watching that video, you guys let me know if you believe this. Word on the curb is that producers were saying the reason why Wendy money is being frozen, and he kind of alluded to little Kevin being the one that they wouldn't give him access and have him check on his mom and stuff like that. Well, they are alleging that, and this is alleged, Calvin Hunter, Big Kev, is working with Tommy allegedly, and they're trying to control Wendy. So Wendy has allegedly a bad management team and bad family trying to control her. After watching that live, I'm not going to say that they're trying to control her, as far as anything abusive, but I definitely think the people around her are not good. And, originally I was all like, little Kevin is too young to handle it. Honestly, that's the only person she can trust. What are your thoughts about that, All the Smoke?
I mean, I wouldn't even say that's alleged. I would believe that to be true because the way her brother has been moving, posting fake images of him and his wife in photos, trying to make it seem like he's at the family gatherings, and then now Big Kevin oh my gosh, trying to basically plead his case about why he did what he did. He was looking like a man who was thirsty for money. Like that Wells Fargo, freezing Wendy's funds up is really starting to hurt him, and Sharina's starting to get pissed. So he's like, he needs to keep his new family happy. So I believe it. I believe Tommy and Kelvin might be in cahoots to try to get control of Wendy's money, to me.
Ooh. And what about you, Heart of Inspiration? How you feel about that?
Hey,
Do you think
Hey, boo, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
do you think they might be in cahoots too, Heart of Inspiration?
I think if we're gonna go through that angle, that perhaps they felt that Big Kelvin was putting undue pressure on Junior. However, we've already seen Junior raise up and toss some hands to his daddy. Now, all of us is melanated. Y'all know what that means when you ready to raise up against your parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a serious violation in the Black community, if I might say so myself.
A big no.
That's a big one. So do I think it's possible? Yes. But I think there's more than that. Hey, Perry.
Hey, Perry.
Thank you, Perry, for the Thank you for the $9.99. Thank you. Thank you, Perry. But go ahead, Heart of Inspiration. I'm sorry.
I feel like if that were the case, then some other things might make sense, right? Because his money, don't forget, when they froze her money, they froze it all. He didn't get no alimony payment. There was nothing to be had. Okay.
Right.
Maybe he wasn't counting on that happening. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That throws a different wrench in it. I just don't. Part of me, honestly. Okay, guys, we got to remember too that this woman that was overseeing her money, right? All this came about because she told old girl, I don't want you overseeing. She told Wells Fargo, I don't want old girl overseeing my money anymore. I want to move my money. So is it that her and Kelvin had a relationship? And, because she had been around for 15 years.
Right.
And she was moving money around that she didn't want Wendy to be able to see. Is it that she got her job at Wells Fargo because she brought Wendy and her money to Wells Fargo? Let's not forget that as well. There's so many people with hands in this right now that, it could be multiple mother truckers that's trying to do this.
Right.
I don't trust Tommy no further than I could throw him personally. Like, if I could slap him upside his head, I would. I know I've been real lately. But I don't trust him at all. At all.
Right. I was even thinking, oh, well, I don't think necessarily they thought, like, because at this point, little Kevin is the only one that we can trust in this. For me, that's the only one that we can trust. I think we can agree on that. Wow. So I think that they thinking like, oh, little Kevin is probably being pressured by the daddy and everybody else. So they're like, hey, do this, do that. Because let's be honest, like, my parents today still tell me what to do. Now, do I listen? No, that's why I'm in debt and a whole bunch of other stuff. But anyway, but they tell me to do stuff all the time. So his dad's probably like, yo, you need to handle it like this. This is the way I would approach it, blah, blah, blah. And them knowing, because the lady was around for 15 years, the accountant or whatever, the overseer, she was there for 15 years. So she's all like, hun, this don't sound like little Kev. This sound like big Kev.
Yeah.
So we gonna freeze this up real quick. All the smoke. I'm gonna get your opinion on what I said, and then we're gonna go to Lisa.
Yes. Oh, on that part?
Yeah, on that part.
I mean, that it's just like there's too many people in the cookie jar at this point. So yeah, it's this. I mean, the son would not know what to do naturally because I don't think he's been in the business or her business particularly at all. So yeah, it would seem odd that the dad would be advising her. But I actually have a quick question I want to ask because he was talking about his businesses and this he's about to get into with the vegan Caribbean restaurant. If he's starting to make income, doesn't that affect how much of his alimony he's going to be getting from Wendy? Won't that get decreased because of that?
Heart Restoration, can you answer that?
Well, it could, but it would. However, let's also remember, she ain't got no show. Right. So his alimony is about to get reduced. Because when you ain't got and when you don't have any income, now we have to reassess, what you're going to make off your investments and so on and so forth. So it's not like she's got a regular paycheck that's going to be coming and hitting that bank that he can get XYZ percentage of. So he got to find some other way to take care of that baby mama. Okay. Because she got into a life that she's a lifestyle to which she has become accustomed to. Hello.
Right. And I wanted to let you guys know that Sharina does have like a vegan cooking book and she does like vegan recipes and stuff like that.
We are not supporting the harlots.
Yeah, and I know that Calvin, Big Kev, is into the whole vegan thing and stuff like that. He teased it when he was talking about Dr. CB diet. It is vegan, but it's more strictly like the alkaline diet, I believe what it's called, what Dr. CB had. And so that's what he's doing and stuff like that. But Heart of Inspiration, I'm going to ask you first. What did you think about him bringing up his son's situation, with the K2, the synthetic weed? Because then he mentioned like, Wendy couldn't be there, but, my partner was there talking about Sharina was there, to help him out and everything like that. That was so weird to me. And
that was him trying to rehabilitate. Like this was the apology tour and him trying to rehabilitate his brand at this point, because now Kelvin Hunter is going to have a brand. Before he could be behind the scenes and be the man behind a woman, right? Now he can, and then he was collecting off at all that. So now he can't. He's got to do something else, and he's trying to rehabilitate him, and he's trying to rehabilitate Sharina. And let's just be real. These days, it's kind of crazy to me that the side chick baby mama, all of a sudden, the one that broke up helped to break up the situation, all of a sudden, we see this we see this over in England in the royal family, like they acting like Camilla was just like, oh, she's so cool, she's gonna be queen consort. Y'all forget that this woman was, hunching on his man all the time. Like, come on now. So it seems to me like the side chick and the baby mama is being accepted at this point. I'm not accepting her. I'm with Smoke. I'm not supporting harlot.
Right.
So I think that was just him trying to rehabilitate himself and just say, I am here for my son, right? But to your other point, though, I'm going to say something to you. In the documents that were filed before everything got sealed, that I still have, by the way, all you people, I haven't downloaded, so don't play. I have it. So, though, in those documents, Wendy's attorney made statements to the effect that she was not allowed to see what investments were being made and how her money was being moved around. So she has no idea. Is it Big Kelvin? I don't know. Is it that she was doing some effery and that the bank, she was doing effery with this woman's money at the bank's behest? Because again, she brought this big whale, not in size, in, money.
Right.
She brought this major account to Wells Fargo. They were with, God, was it UBS, I think? Before, don't quote me, I could be wrong. But she was with another bank. She brought to Wells Fargo, and she came along with Wendy's money. So, and we all know Wells Fargo is up to no good all the time, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. So I it's hard for me to say who is really doing what.
Right. Right. And we all know Wells Fargo is shady. And you guys, it came up again because I remember when me and Heart of Inspiration was talking about this on the live, I had mentioned something was going on with Wells Fargo and their Black customers. They were denying loans to Black homeowners and stuff like that. So that's what's going on in the media right now. But all the smoke, I wanted to ask you, what did you think about the part in Kevin's live where he mentioned Wendy had 2 blood transfusions? Isn't that a HIPAA violation? Like talking about her blood. He might as well just have told us everything that was wrong with it. Why he gonna just say the blood transfusion and then stop at it? How you feel about that? He came back up. Hold on. Let me add the new one.
So let me just tell you.
Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
As an insurance agent, guys, HIPAA applies to medical professionals and people like me, insurance agents. HIPAA does not apply to regular Joe Schmo. Okay. So and we do not know if Wendy has given him permission to say these things. I believe him when he said there was nobody that the management agent, the management department and all that, that the management company, they didn't give a rat's patootie about Wendy and her health. I believe him when he said that. I believe him when she was, because remember that we were talking about how she was holed up in her New York apartment and she'd had no friends and all that stuff. So if the young man had to call from Florida 911 to get somebody to bust down the door because none of the management people would even find out for a simple wellness check whether or not his mama was okay and that she had to have this stuff, then I'm gonna go along with that. There's also a few other things that happened right before she had this episode, but I'm not going to say that on your channel. I'm just going to say, let me just put it this way. Right before she had this episode, she did get the poke. She did get her second poke right before she had this episode back in September.
Oh, wow.
And we've seen other people unfortunately transition shortly after they got their second poke in about the last 6 to 8 months. So
because I thought she refused it. She
did.
She went on a whole public thing about how she wasn't going to get it
because she didn't trust it. And let's all be real. Well, I'm not going to say that. But she didn't trust it. By the way,
I got mine, so go ahead.
It's up to you. I didn't and won't. So, everybody has their choice, right? I'm all about choice. I just wanted to be informed. So she didn't in May, and then I think she was forced to in order for her to come back into the studio because of New York law.
Yeah.
So she had to, and that was in September. Her second one, as I was reading through the articles, her second one was administered shortly before she had that episode on September 15th.
Okay. What was the other question? Because it was about and Hard Inspiration, you brought up the wellness check too. I was gonna ask all the smoke. What do you think about the wellness check part when he was all like, the son was trying to get a wellness check done and wouldn't let the people go see, his mom and check up on her, and management not doing anything? What are your thoughts about that?
I'm thinking like Kelvin must have like some deep pockets or just has a connection with all the people that are around Wendy, whether it's where she lives, her family, her money. It's just like a lot. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this is like completely contrary to the person that Wendy put out there when we see her on her show and the advice she would give other people. So I'm just like, yes, unfortunate. But as far as like the wellness check, I'm like, I kind of want to ask, like, why wasn't her son with her? Like, especially if he knows that his mom is kind of lonely and by herself, especially going through the divorce, why he wasn't there. But yeah, that's just very weird to me. That not
he's
even
in college though.
Yeah,
he goes to college in Miami. That's why. And all the other family, even Calvin, Big Kev, all lives in Florida. So, Wendy's technically on her own, but that's where she works. I don't know if they have production companies in Miami. I'm pretty sure they do, but not on a large scale to do what she does.
Her whole show is based in New York, though, like the set, everything. So, so he was living his best life. I mean, as a mother, right? I'm a mother of adult children. Like, I would want my child to go and live. I wouldn't expect for him to have to run back to me. You know what I'm saying? And, he's just starting his life out. Now, granted, if I brought up my 3 children right now, they'd be like, listen, when mama going through some stuff, they literally, when I was going through my second divorce 5 years ago, they all like talked on the phone unbeknownst to me and decided who was going to move back in with me. Cause all of a sudden I was just going to fall apart, but them cheerings, they was like, who's moving back home with mama? Literally, that's what
because they cared. That's why they wanted to know, who's gonna move back. They
were older too. They were in their, but the youngest at the time was like 20s. She was in her mid-20s. So I'm saying, so it's different. Like we had a different situation. But he's the only child. I mean, he should be allowed to be down there, in Miami. But yeah, somebody asked about wills. I would hope that she
has one.
Yeah, I would hope she does, and I would hope she redid it once they got divorced.
Right. That's a good question. Let me go ahead and add Buzzworthy on here. Buzzworthy, you there?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Buzz.
Hey. You always be close to the scene and everything like that, so I'm just going to let you say what you got to say.
Look, I was not prepared because I was actually hanging out, and a source actually plugged me in. And usually I'm on top of this because I thought I was plugging everybody in when you were supposed to go live yesterday, and it didn't happen. And I felt like a complete failure. I was telling everybody he's going to go live, and he didn't. So
I announced it too. So yeah, don't feel bad.
I think I sent you a DM like, "Hey, he's going live." I think I sent it to you too. I feel like a complete failure. But anyway. So, how do I feel? I feel as though I always felt that he cared about Wendy. I just feel as though he was a narcissist. I mean, not that he's not a great manager. Let's not take that from him. And I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, he did his job. And I think that's what he wants acknowledgement for. He did his job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, because Heart Inspiration, you was also saying that in the chat, like you feel like he did his alluded to, I should say, you didn't say the exact words, but he was like doing his job and stuff like that and trying to help. He was the backbone of the whole operation.
He was the backbone of a lot, and he was the, we give like people like, I'll just say Monique because I don't want to talk about Nikki's husband, but a lot of people say a lot of negative things about Monique's husband.
Daddy.
But there's something interesting to be said for when a woman, especially a Black woman, gets married and now her husband is here. People can't mistreat us. There's a difference when we have that shield, when we have that protector. Okay. Now, yes, he's still a narcissist. Don't get me wrong, because this was a whole narcissistic, like
Rant.
we went from love bomb to smear campaign to gaslighting all the way back to love bomb. I mean, we ran the gamut of the whole thing. I want to break this down on my channel and be like, this is what a narcissist does when they ain't got no more money coming in. But anyway, so we see all of this happen. So he's still a narcissist. That doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't hold certain people accountable to certain things and make sure she was insulated against things as well.
Hey, exactly. And I want to point out what you said, Heart of Inspiration, in regards to how your children gathered around you during your divorce. See, he's, like you said, only one. And remember, Wendy always said that if you listen to her, like, deep between the lines, Wendy's actually an open book if you read between the lines. And she kind of hated that he was the only child because, like she said, he doesn't have anybody to bounce anything off of. If your parents are arguing, if your parents, if one, if they go through anything, you can't talk to your sibling about it. And now that's what he's going through. And I get what she said. She's like, her children called and said, okay, so this is what's going on with mine. What are we going to do? He didn't have that.
No.
How did you, Buzzworthy, let me ask you, how did you feel about how he kind of, in a way, was trying to justify him having the baby? He said something about his son needed a sibling, and he said he wanted, to bring a new life into the world and all this stuff. Like, how did you feel about that stuff,
And it's so funny because I was just talking to one of because I'm telling you, everybody behind the scenes is like, what the heck? So we were just talking about this and they were like, well, he felt like he wanted a family and Wendy did this behind his back about, her getting her IUD or whatever. And I feel as though, like I told the other person, yeah, she did, but at this point when she did it, he'd already cheated on her. And you got to remember, you're dealing with somebody who has very bad insecurities. So she felt like I gained all this weight to bring this life into this world. No, I don't regret it. I'm glad we have this baby. But if this what made me feel unattractive, all this weight, we can have intercourse and all these things because, I'm high risk. I'm going to make sure, because remember, she is in the movie, my body can't handle another baby.
Right.
So,
and she had multiple miscarriages.
Right. So I feel as though, not that she didn't want one, because you can even feel in her when she talks about it. I don't think she didn't want one or she didn't want to give him one. It's just that her insecurities and the things that she went through wouldn't allow her to do that. So, yeah, I just feel as though that wasn't necessarily a correct statement. I was talking behind the scenes like, no, she did it because she felt as though that's why he did what he did, and she was already insecure. And when you're insecure and you want to cling to this man that you love so much, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that probably made her feel guilty about not being able. Let's not forget she has Graves' disease, guys.
Yeah.
This is not this. The fact that she had one successful pregnancy is nothing short of a miracle. Okay. Especially at the age she ended up having, Kelvin. So look, Junior. So there's all these things going on. And since we already know he's a narcissist, right? He's going to make her feel horrible in the back, and she's going to do whatever because she's constantly going through the cycle. The love bomb, gaslight, smear, blame, blah, 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 love bomb, gaslight, smear, make you feel like you're garbage. This is in the back. In the forefront, he's looking like I'm super manager, right? But in the background, that's where she was catching hell.
Right. And all the smoke. I have a question for you. Because he mentioned about, what job, you go to and you have an extramarital affair and they let you go. Now, do you feel like they had to let him go or they should have kept him on as the manager? And I'm going to let Margot up here as well, too.
I mean, Well, yeah, they're going to let you go, especially when the extramarital affair was against the boss. So in what reality do you think that she was going to have to deal with your BS outside of work and then be able to come to work and do her job and just keep you there and everything's supposed to be good and dandy? That's just unacceptable. And I think like that's why they always say in jobs, it's a conflict of interest. You have to let HR know if you're in a relationship with other people, because that can affect how you do your job and favoritism and your relationships with the other employees. So I was just like, bro, like clearly you one plus one is not equaling two in your head, that you couldn't see that clearly.
Right. And Buzz, did you hear about stuff like Kevin was basically controlling and people were scared of him at the job and stuff like that? So it was hostile. So I can see why after they got divorced, oh, it's time to get your ass up out of here. You know, you cheated on the boss and had a baby. Plus, you know, they're scared, you know, that allegedly they scared. I mean, do you think they were right for getting rid of him, Buzz?
This is what I think. Honestly, it's like a catch-22 because you have this very domineering man that, yes, he's creating a very hostile work environment, but at the end of the day, look what happened. When he left, you guys really took advantage. I do feel like I watched Choke No Jokes video when all this first happened, because actually, let's give him his credit. He actually broke the story about the Wells Fargo incident. And when I watched this whole video, it's a 2-hour video. Skip to the 30-minute part. That's when he gets into and he spends the rest of the hour and a half speaking about Wendy, and he gives very much insight to what's really playing out right now. Everything we're saying right now is what he already predicted, already said. So anyway, so I feel as though, like he said, yes, Kevin was a narcissist. He was a horrible husband, and was he toxic in that work environment? Yes, but he kept certain things in line in which they couldn't wait to get him out. Yes, because he was toxic, but also because they could take advantage of the situation and run over her and made a bad situation worse. And then I hate to say it, but when DJ Booth left, it made it even worse. Because I feel like the Booth had a little bit of influence, not a lot, but a little bit of influence. And when he left, let's just be real, it got even worse.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to do a little defending of Kevin, and I'm going to ask you, Margot. So say if you've been in a relationship for like, you know, well, it was longer than 11 years, but I guess he was cheating around, you know, the 9-10 mark. You know, he was cheating for about 9-10 years, allegedly. If I've been cheating and you've been letting me do this, why change what I'm doing? What is your thought on that? If you letting me cheat, why should I change?
You had a baby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, first of all, I'm in no way defending Kelvin and his pitbull looking self. But in that sense, everyone forgets that Wendy didn't leave because he was cheating. Wendy left because he got somebody pregnant. And if you recall, when Wendy talks about her miscarriages, she talks about having a beautiful little girl that she couldn't keep. So it was more of an emotional toll on her that he got somebody pregnant and that people knew about it. She already knew. And when it comes to management sense, no offense, Kelvin was a horrible manager. When it comes to PR, he was horrible, because Wendy, after you get divorced, if you have a good manager, and I don't think he was her only manager, once you get divorced, there should be things in line that make sure that not only do I get paid as your manager, but somebody else. And you do. And everyone still has their same structure. He was not putting things in place. He was more or less hiding things to make sure that he was going to at least come out somehow on top. He wasn't. I don't personally think that he was a good manager. I've worked in PR for a very long time. I've worked in collaboration with their production company. And if you create a hostile work environment due to your home life, you're not a good manager. It just narrows down to that.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you, Hunter Inspiration, because I remember hearing, well, we know that Tyrese wasn't allowed back on the show, and there were multiple different guests that weren't even
What?
allowed to go on her show. Yeah, weren't
Why?
even allowed to go on her show because Kevin was very controlling and stuff like that. And this is one of the reasons why she doesn't have any friends. Do you think him running a tight ship like helped Wendy, or did it hurt her?
No,
You know,
it hurt in this regard. It hurt her. So this is the weird dichotomy you get when you're dealing with a narcissist. What a narcissist does is completely insulate and isolate you from everything and everyone, and only specific people that they feel are not a threat to them, right, are the people that they let in. And if for anybody that's wondering how the heck I know so much about this, my second husband did exactly that, and he did it to me within 18 months.
Wow.
Within 18 months from the day I met him until the day I put him out.
oh my God.
Okay. Within 18 months, all of a sudden, there was a wedge between myself and my son. There was a wedge between me and a lot of my friends that I had, that I was not pretty much allowed to see other friends. And you might be like, well, how did you let this happen? It happens because then, like, I have a lot of male friends. It is what it is. And he would say, well, I've been cheated on so much in my past, or blah, 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 right? And make me feel guilty, and then make me want to just keep him happy, right? I'm trying to be the good wife. So little by little, people all around me, I was isolated and insulated from everyone. So no, at the end of the day, it harmed her greatly. Okay. The other side of that is they're fiercely protective. So there's probably some things that at the end of the day, he may have he's a street guy. He only went to the 10th grade.
10th grade. He said that. Right.
Yes. So, from a street sense kind of situation, he's going to have that and protect her against that. But at the end of the day, no, it actually hurt her. She didn't even know her business dealings. She had no idea. That's what makes me think old girl that was managing her money was messing with her money, and all her money ain't there, because she didn't even know what the business dealings were, but he did.
Right. All the smoke. You agreed with that too, right?
I was about to say, sounds like he was full outline with the finance manager too on the side. I wouldn't be surprised if he was diddling and piddling wherever he could.
Part of inspiration, to piggyback off of what you said, what narcissists tend to do is give you the illusion of protection when it's actually possession.
Yeah, absolutely.
He possessed her.
Yeah.
Which is why he thinks he has the right to everything else, because most narcissists do.
Yeah.
And if you were to bring it back to Wendy Williams, think about the one thing she never talks about, which is her first marriage. She never talks about her first marriage. Even in the movie, it was a very quick blip of something.
Yeah.
There's a sense that he saw within her where it was like, if I act like A, B, and C, and I make sure she feels protected, I can get whatever I want.
Yeah.
How are you going to give somebody who has a 10th grade, how are you make sure, how is he now in charge of your whole empire? Because it's an empire. It's because you have now been bamboozled to believe that this person is everything.
Absolutely. Because they tear you down from the very, like, what narcissists are able to do. And I know the AT2, I'm so sorry, we're going in a whole different direction.
Go ahead. No, I like the way it's going. Go ahead.
Well, what narcissists do is they have an insidious way of finding that part in you that they can continue to hit and hit and hit your weakest point, where you feel the least, self-confident or whatever. And they hit it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it. And when I tell people, when they're like coming out of that, I am actually thankful for my situation, because had I not been in relationship with him, I wouldn't have known my greatest area I needed healing from. Yeah. So I was able to get out of it after a year and a half. But she was in it for how many years?
10 plus or 20 plus.
Over 20.
Can you imagine that mind screw for 20 years?
Right, you're right about that. And Buzz, I want to ask you, was Wendy being managed or was she being controlled?
Mm, mm. So let me answer that.
Come on
Wow. I
now.
feel like she was at this point, I feel like she was being controlled. Even though I'm not gonna say he didn't give some insight. I still feel the way I feel. I still feel like he's a narcissist. I still feel like he was out of order. He did give some insight tonight, but
Mhm.
I said what I said, as they say, you know? So he was definitely he was definitely controlling. I don't take that back.
I have a
Right.
question. If you
And
don't mind.
Margot, go ahead.
I have a question as well. Well, she wasn't being managed. I'm not going to give a 10th grader control of my empire. She was not being managed. I might no. You're in 10th grade. What do you know? You're not being managed. But I have a question. So shoot, did I forget my question? Oh, here's my thing. So AT2, you know where I work and all my stuff and whatnot. Here's my
Right.
thing. When Wendy Williams had her documentary and her movie coming out, if
Mhm.
she was being managed, quote unquote, so well, why did she not do PR? Did you see her on the Today Show? Did you see her
Oh,
on
that's
CNN
right.
talking about that?
She was on The
Mm-mm.
View. She was on a lot of things.
She wasn't on the View until later on from that. But before, but let's talk like if I'm having a
Oh.
major interview with somebody, let's
Mhm.
say when she interviewed, let's say Nene Leakes when everything was happening. Why
Right.
would you promote that elsewhere? Why was Wendy not allowed to have an Instagram at least to promote that? That's the difference between being managed and being controlled.
You know
Oh
what? Did they promote it on the Instagram, the
Did
movie and
they?
everything?
Not really.
Nope.
no.
No. Well,
Nope.
but guys, you got to remember though, talent, right? I think Margaret, you'd probably know this.
Mhm.
Talent tends not to even have their own Instagram. We've seen a number of cases where people that are on shows or whatnot, they end up because they turn over their rights to the production company or whatever to manage their Instagram. They have to either sue to get their Instagram back, or they can't even use their own likeness and image on their own Instagram, which is why Wendy has changed her. Like she's got her own. Like she doesn't
Oh,
even own that Instagram account.
yeah, because the Wendy Show account on Instagram,
Doesn't
it's
belong to her.
commenting on Sherry Shepherd
Right.
and account saying like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, oh you look good, oh emojis and
Right.
everything like that." And it's all like people don't understand how social media works, so they're literally thinking that Wendy is typing this, saying like, "Oh yeah, she's co-signing." And Wendy is not co-signing this at
Not.
Mm-mm.
all. You know, that's
Mm-mm.
the crazy part.
Yeah.
It's
But you also
Tommy.
got people on there saying give Wendy her Instagram and social media accounts back because they're seeing what's going on. The people like you and me who's actually like authentically going on the sites, they're like, wait a
Mhm.
minute, this is
Mm-hmm.
fake. Give her site, give her the social media back because she built that.
Indeed.
Well, guys, what's her contract say though? We don't
That's what I'm gonna
know.
say. The contract. I always tell
Right.
people when I meet people, I'm like, look at your contract and make sure that you read every single line because a lot of
Absolutely.
times they say we own your likeness. You
Yeah.
can't go online. You can't do
Absolutely.
that. And I don't think that Wendy thought that she would be in this predicament because I don't think that if you take it back and you listen to her documentary, she talks about her childhood in a sense of I was alone a lot. I wasn't protected. I didn't feel like I was loved a lot. So she would have given that man everything, and she did.
Yep, absolutely.
And so
And
Yeah.
he went
that's
back to
how
do that.
narcissists get in because that's what I say when I say love bomb, it's truly a love bomb. The sun rises
Right.
and sets, right?
On you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
you think this is the best person in the world until you wake up one day and it's your worst nightmare.
And then you
Right.
can't leave because they've emotionally stunted you to the point where it's like, I only need you. And
Absolutely.
now Wendy
Absolutely.
enabled that with business, where it's like, I only need you, but now you're in charge of so much and I know nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Let
one
me ask
thing.
you guys real quick.
Mhm.
Going around in a circle, and I'll start with Heart, all the smoke, then go down to Buzz, and then Margot. Who's controlling that one Instagram account, the Wendy Williams, that other one? Is it Little Kevin, Big Kev, Tommy, or is it Wendy herself controlling that account? Heart
Oh
inspiration.
Lord. That's the
Come on,
cast the
Heart. Tell the
characters
On the
I get
truth.
spot,
to
on
choose
the
from.
spot.
I'll just go with Look Kevin for 500.
Okay. all the
AT2.
all the smoke. Who's controlling that Instagram account? That new account?
It's Tommy's con artist ass. He
Buzz,
don't want to do that.
Buzz, who's controlling that Instagram
I'm
account?
gonna tell you this before I go to bed because I'm gonna let you drop me before
Okay.
I go because I gotta get to work in the morning. It's Lil Kev only because if you follow his account, he has very little posts like this account does, but he posts on his stories more so that he has to put full post up there. The rhythm is the same, so it's Lil Kev.
I never thought about that. And Buzz, thank you so much for coming on. I always enjoy it when you come on and give us a scoop. I appreciate that.
No problem. Hey, we'll talk again on your channel or either on our other channel. You know how we do.
Yes, exactly. You have a good night.
All right.
Good night, Buzz.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
Buzz.
Good night.
And make sure you guys go check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. It's Buzzworthy TV. And then Margot, who do you think controlling that Instagram account, that new
Serena.
one? Serena.
Not the baby mama side
But I
chick.
actually I got some facts to back it up though. Hold up. I got
Go ahead.
I'm not, I mean,
That just took me for a loop. I was
here
like,
we
oh.
go.
Okay.
Serena has had many businesses. She understands the dialect of making sure that people know that you are at least aware. We don't know what Wendy's contract says. We don't know if it's a Stevie J. Oh, not the baby. Not the child, though. We don't know what her contract says. That if Kelvin Ballhead, I don't know, backwards hat, I don't know his name. If he can have control and or take over Wendy's content, I don't think Kelvin is doing that. I think it's Serena, and I think it's Serena and Lil Kev, because how you letting somebody, your son, go to a jungle, quote unquote, apparently to get treated with your side chick, and they don't have a relationship on the side, as in a friendship, as in a kinship. I think that they're both running her Instagram.
I never thought about that dynamic because, like, does Little Kev have a relationship with his stepmistress? Is that what you call it, a stepmistress?
Don't say something.
No, we call them companions, like she a dog.
Not companion.
Exactly, because she ain't stepped nothing. They ain't married.
No.
She ain't stepped nothing.
Right. Okay, let me go ahead and ask the people, you guys. So go ahead and type it in the chat right now. We're going to do a 30-second countdown. Shut up. We're doing the 30-second countdown, damn it. And go ahead and tell me in the chat, who is running that new Wendy Williams Instagram account? Here we go. Okay, so I got a lot of Tommies, Serena. Margot, you might be onto something. Now I'm kind of thinking Serena might run that account. I'm thinking either Little Kev or Serena. I know definitely ain't Wendy controlling that account.
ATT, what about the baby?
Not the baby.
And the baby. Gaga Guga, the baby might be controlling it too, allegedly.
Not the baby watching Coco Melon and typing. No, not the baby.
It might be the baby now. Hashtag the baby typing.
Listen, my 3-year-old granddaughter could probably run my Instagram, so I ain't gonna sleep on that.
They know how to
use
TikTok, all that. It's so like, how you know how to do all that stuff?
Hey, Excel sheets and everything. How? Y'all tripping.
Right.
Question for you, everyone on the panel. I'm sorry, Tiff, I ask a question if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
Question for you is, I'm wondering why everyone is waiting for Wendy to go live when legally, if Wendy wants to share her contract with us, she can, as long as she blurbs out her salary and other benefits and whatever she gets. Why are we not asking her for? I would love to see Wendy. We don't, me, I would be scroll. I would read that line by line with a ruler. Why are we not asking to see her contract with both Kelvin and the production company?
Yeah, or Kelvin could have showed her us his contract or whatever deal he had. You know, was that talked about in the lawsuit? Heart of Inspiration, his
It
actual
might be.
contract.
I do have the PDF handy whenever you're ready.
Is the
Receipts.
contract in there? Like what his deal was?
Bear with me one moment. I will tell you, sir. Some of what you want to start answering the question.
Okay, we'll go on to all the smoke while you pull that up. I want to know something now with this whole, thing with Sharina. I almost felt like he was giving like an excuse to why, he was with her and like defending his cheating ways. Did you feel like that as well too?
I did. It was almost like, it's understandable. People fall. Marriages only last about half of the time. So, like, if him and Wendy were going through some stuff, okay, I get it. Divorce her and like be with this woman, but to try to just make it make sense, like, oh, she's my friend. Like, and honestly, I would have felt some kind of way if I was her. Like, why am you calling me your friend? And miss, I'm more than that. But yeah, like,
right.
It made no sense to me while he was trying to like make it okay. I mean, granted, yes, he was saying like, I do take responsibility for what I did, but there's nothing that you can say that will make this one appear favorable in any light to the public whatsoever.
Right. And Margot, are we giving too much hate to Sharina? Is she innocent in all of this?
No, she's not. Nah, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. No. Me and Sharina can meet in the back corner. No, she's not. Here's my thing. The documentary said Sharina drove by the house and took pictures. When I heard that, I said, well, meet me in a dark corner, Sharina. I don't even fight, but I will fight you.
Wow.
What you mean? No, she's not, because she knew what she was doing. There are times when Charlemagne, the god, whatever, he talks about how Kelvin met Sharina. She knew.
Introduced them, right?
Exactly.
Charlemagne.
Oh.
And she knew. And I have a personal relationship with him, but she knew more than what he even said in the documentary. She knew a lot, and she knew all the spots for Kelvin to get in. So here's my thing: she's not innocent, and I will pull up on her today. I'm from Maryland. It's a 5-hour drive. What's up?
Right.
Baby,
I do have said it is mentioned, by the way. The contract is mentioned.
Okay, go ahead.
Should I share my screen? Want me to share my screen?
Do you know? Can you?
I think so.
Oh, well, hell, let's try.
Let's try.
Ooh, the receipts.
Oh, sorry. Random thing. I saw in the comments someone said that there might be an NDA attached to it, and you are probably 1,000% right. But an NDA can be broken under dire circumstances. So if I'm saying that Wendy Williams is not right not right personally, physically, health wise, the NDA can be broken for your contract.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. And Heart of Inspiration, are you ready right now to share your screen?
Yeah. Is it sharing? Because it's saying it is.
Yeah, I can add it onto the stream.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh no! What is that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It was Kelvin's forehead.
We not after midnight here, so you're safe.
I was like, oh no, wait.
Right. No, it's not that. Okay.
Let me turn off my camera so I can squint at this. Hold on.
I can probably make it bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Hold on. Here we go. Yep, right here.
Oh, and make sure y'all hit that like button too. Thank you, everybody still watching. All 235 of y'all, hit that like button.
Okay, can y'all see it a little bit better now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So this is line 28 and 29 in his lawsuit against Debmar. Plaintiff's executive producer role was accorded to Hunter pursuant to an initial November 5th, 2007 contract, hereinafter 2007 contract by and between Debmar and Wendy, Inc., which was renewed during the pendency of the show's lifespan. The 2007 contract not only enumerated Hunter's executive producer title, but also defined Hunter's role pertaining to product integration she brought to the show, as well as other third-party co-branding marketing opportunities. not to mention compensation for all of the aforesaid services. So now this goes further into the product integrations. Now, you saw here where we've got Wendy, we've got a 1 here. So here's the footnote down here. Wendy Inc. was the corporate entity through which Plaintiff Hunter, on behalf of the show's host, Wendy Williams, did business pertaining to the show. So my question, okay, here we go. With respect to the product integrations, Hunter was to be compensated through the provision of a 10% commission of revenues derived from those integrations, as well as post-term commissions on the product integrations. Okay. And then he believed that because of all this, he was not going to be terminated without lawful reasons. Now,
I have a question, Heart and Inspiration.
Yes.
Does that mean that technically his lawsuit is more towards those brands that would have been made, those brand deals that would have been on her show, or let me let you explain.
So what he's basically saying is he entered into brand deals as a result of this contract. This contract was at first done on November 5th of 2007, right? And then it was renewed during the pendency of the show's lifespan. So basically, as long as the show was on air, they were under contract.
Oh.
Now, my question to this, where they may have an out is, okay, and then I'll get to the product. Where they may have an out is that was the contract between Wendy Inc. and Debmar. So if she kicked him out of Wendy Inc. because he went off and had a baby and just couldn't just go have fun, then my feeling would be, okay, then, that was not, then you're no longer part of Wendy Inc. But we don't know that. I don't know. I don't have their divorce decree. Maybe that's the next thing I'll pull up. As far as the product integrations, so he's basically saying he got paid a commission based upon what, brand deals were brought. So that they paid Debmar was supposed to pay him, right? That's how that all happened. They would pay Debmar, and then Debmar would pay him.
Question for you, if you happen to know. I mean, I don't know you at all. It's my first time ever. I'm on 82's live sporadically, surprisingly, but could you send me that as well? Because I'm very interested in that. But my question is, Wendy's Corporation, who's the owner of that? Because you can have more than owners of that or owner.
Okay, well, that's another thing that we'll have to find.
Yeah.
I'll be over here being the intrepid
legal eagle.
Yeah, because if Wendy fired him and he's suing, he might actually be able to win it if he's also a part of the Wendy Corporation. Because it'll be like, it's still my company as well.
Is he able to hold dual roles like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of times you will become especially when you have a marriage or whatever, but when you become a talent, a person, you have different choices on how you want to incorporate yourself so that the management side can take care of things, as opposed to just like it all being on your head. And also when you're incorporated like that, that means you're at least an S Corp, which also then means for tax purposes, it'll afford you a lot more flexibility. And so like Wendy would have been an employee of Wendy Inc. Okay. Kelvin would have been an employee of Wendy Inc., whoever else she had. And so that would have just been its own entity. And then Wendy Inc. enters into contract with production companies or networks.
Mercury.
Right. Okay, a lot of people are saying Wendy fired him. That's what a lot of people are saying.
I believe that because I clearly recall hearing that. So that's gonna take me a little, like, I'll have to come back to that. I'm sorry, Margo. That
we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Send me that. I mean, ATT knows my Instagram. You could just send me that, and we could probably just go through it, even if it's like going back and forth. But I also have another question. Does that lawsuit include the usage of her likeness? Because if it doesn't, then if they are using her Instagram, then I will then take back my statement and think that little Kev is doing that because that's her son.
This lawsuit was Kelvin Hunter against versus Debmar. And he's basing this on, there's some New York law or something that basically says that you cannot be fired due to, what is he saying? You cannot be terminated due to blah, 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 blah. New York City human rights law that you cannot terminate anyone on the basis of their marital status. So where they may have messed up is they basically were kind of intimated to him that, well, now since y'all are divorced, you got to go pimping, rather than saying it was a hostile work environment and so on and so forth. So this is going to be interesting because he might have a leg to stand on in that regard.
And Wendy's lawsuit is against Wells Fargo. I do want to clarify that. It's against Wells Fargo, not the show.
Correct. Wendy's is against Wells Fargo, and then Wells Fargo actually brought the guardianship situation, which as far as I can tell is still in play. But I haven't seen where it's been closed yet, but I haven't checked in a couple of days. My guess is it's still in play right now. I'm wondering how long that's going to take before there's some decision made on that. But we haven't heard a lot about that.
Right. Because they closed the case too, like
sealed
so
it.
people
they sealed it. Yeah,
sealed it. I say closed, sealed it. Yeah.
No, they sealed that bad boy. So
yeah,
because we out here, we know there's freedom of information, so we out here getting it. You can't do anything anymore against nobody and not expect for us to be up in that piece.
Right. And all the smoke. You were about to say something. What were you going to say?
Well, someone said in the chat that apparently Sharina was an employee of Wendy Inc. too.
That would make sense.
Yeah, she was some kind of assistant, I think. She did have a job.
Wait, she worked. I thought that was a joke. She actually worked on the Wendy show.
Yeah. Yes. No. Yeah. I
this some low down, trifling kind of mess. Oh my gosh.
Wait. So before I have a skedaddle, I have one more question. What do you think Kelvin? The
big
person I understand, Kelvin. What is his end game? What
to get his money?
Right. But then how much money is enough money? Because if Wendy goes back on air, we're all going to watch. We're going to listen to it.
Wendy's not.
He's gonna bleed her dry if he can. Like, he wants to make sure that him and his new family is secure. And honestly, and this is so depraved what I'm about to say, but he will wait until she passes in order to marry that girl.
I don't mean to disturb. I don't mean to interrupt you, but everyone knows that.
I did.
Oh, wait, y'all believe that?
My pearls, child. I did not know that.
Y'all, I heard it from Charlamagne and stuff. I know that.
You're so nasty, stuff.
Sorry, if you're watching this, don't block me.
Yo, I'm gonna get ready to end the show. So Margot, don't go. I'm gonna get ready to end it. Let's finish it off with this question. Do you believe that all three of them have relations? Heart of inspiration. I'm gonna start with you first.
Yep, and yeah, I do.
Damn! All the smoke. Do you think they had relations? All three of them?
Yes, and I believe Wendy wore the strap.
Strap for the effort. Wendy have the back for a strap. I know that person.
Margot, what are your thoughts? Do you think they had relations?
No, I know.
She said she knows. Okay, so
I know.
I think they had relations, right? But I think Charlamagne was there too.
I need y'all to. If you were to ever call into the show, he will tell you the truth. I can't be putting up numbers out there on Front Street, but
who?
Give it to him behind the scenes, baby.
I'm not you never asked me about other people, so I never answered.
Wait. Give us a little exclusive, a little bit.
No.
Okay. We'll talk later after the show. But let me ask the chat: do y'all think that Sharina, Wendy, and Calvin had a little menage a trois, including Charlemagne? If you want to put a 1 in the chat, you think yes. Put a 2 in the chat, you think no. Allegedly. Let's go ahead and do a 30-second countdown before we close out the show, y'all. Oh, wow. It's very mixed. It's very mixed. But Heart of Inspiration, any last words on this whole situation, the live, or anything you want to get out?
I just, I feel terrible for Wendy, and I feel terrible for her son. Because they are two people basically that don't have anybody. They don't even know who they can trust or where they can go. So I just, we just need to keep them in our prayers. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. All the smoke. Any last words?
I mean, the same. I mean, I hope that whatever Wendy is going through right now, that she pulls through and is able to continue whatever she wants to do with the rest of her career. But I feel like her and her son kind of need to be able to kind of just break away from people and ride off into the sunset with each other.
Right. And Margot, what about you? Everybody's saying give us a snippet, a smidget. They still
pour the tea.
Like I say, my last words are: read your contract, even for work. If you don't want to read them, send them to that well. And my second thing is that one person kind of had it close, Casey, in the chat about some stuff, but that's it. So
tell me why I automatically went to the chat.
Me too. I'm scrolling up. Who?
You should.
No.
I kept alluding to that. I was like, that's why they were close during his time in the yeah. So
Kelvin's going to hell. Now I don't usually
he's going to hell.
Not the baby.
I don't usually send him to hell. But
Burn, Kelvin. Burn.
But also like HE2 stuff instead of money all the time. Bing.
Oh no, not Whitney and Bobby Christina. No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We don't want that. Thank you, Last Guys and Gossip, for the super chat.
Yeah.
No, we don't want that.
No.
But I wanted to say thank y'all so much for coming on. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Margot. Shout out to All the Smoke. Shout out to Heart of Inspiration. Make sure you guys follow her channel. Thank y'all for coming. Like, this has been fun. We definitely gonna have to do a part 2 because we know the mess gonna still come.
Yes.
Yeah. And part 2, I'm gonna hit up some people and see about what I can and cannot talk about, and then I'm gonna try. I just I've been wanting to give you the tea all the time, but I'm like, I can't talk about it.
Right. We'll talk offline about a few things, and hopefully we can bring the exclusive to the show. But I want to say thank you for everybody for checking out the show. Everybody has been great. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for all the Cash App, Super Chat, Super Stickers, all that good stuff. On 3, you guys, we're going to say deuces to everybody. Good night, y'all. Deuces.
Deuces.
Deuces.